one key fact that I want you to take away from this video is the fact that the most important life skill are not taught in schools. Yes, they're not taught in primary school, they're not taught in secondary school, and they're also not taught in our universities, that is colleges and all of that. No, they're not taught in most of our schools. And being a Nigerian is quite sad, because this is 99% of our schools do not have certain life skills that are needed to grow. See, I always say this in every video until I'm tired of saying it. If I was taught how to buy stocks, put my money, grow my money from a very young age, I would be a multimillionaire by now, because I know how much I had in secondary school from the money that my mom would give me as allowance, and I didn't use most of it. I saved most of it, and then at the end of the day, what did I do? I think I gave the money mostly to my brother, my sister, and then used it to like buy some things for the people that I was leaving behind, to just say thank you for a beautiful 6 years with you in secondary school and all of those good stuff. But you see, if I was taught, I would have put it in stock, and by now most of them would be like in millions of naira. I mean, 6 figures going to like even 10, 9, 8, whatever figure you have in mind. But what I'm saying is that it would have brought me so much money, okay? And then that money from stock, I can get it, buy assets. You know what? I'm not gonna dwell. We are not gonna dwell, just in case you're in the same situation as I am, or you've experienced the same thing, because we are changing that, and we're also going to be doing it for our children. Now, there's an example I would like to give, Yellowstone, right? There's this movie called Yellowstone. I watch movies a lot and actually learn things from watching movies. So in this movie, Yellowstone, one of the main characters is a man who has children and has grandchildren. He's so rich, he's a billionaire, he's a rancher, if I could call them that, into like cow rearing and all of that. He has a massive amount of land, property. They also like know how to train horses. They are cowboys, right? Basically, and they do all those things as regards that. So he has a child, and then he also has a grandchild. At some point, his child and his wife decided that, you know what, their son would not learn all the important things it takes to take over from their dad in their formal schools, because every morning they would drive maybe about 30 to 45 minutes and take this young boy to a formal school, right? Primary school, nursery, whatever they call it in the US. There's this movie, Montana is US, right? So they decided that, you know what, the things he's learning to make him the next heir for the family is being taught to him by his granddad. So every day the granddad would take him out to different places. They could go to where, you know, the cowboy arenas where they train horses, do some horse ride, sell horses, sell bulls, sell cows, auction them also, right? Not just selling, they also like do auction, and then whoever is the highest bidder, they would buy. And there and then they'll sit down and he'll be teaching him lessons that it can never be taught in formal schools. So the essence of this video today is to tell you that you're supposed to take charge of teaching your children certain life skills that you have learned. You've stayed in this world for a good amount of time. Trust me, there's so many lessons you can pass through to your children that will change their life forever. Sending them to school is great, but you see, those experiences that you've had, you can also teach them. Oh, I made this mistake in business in the year 2016. See what you can do better. Oh, I made this mistake in 2020. See what you can do better. And I know that some of you think that, oh my God, it's so hard to train teenagers. They go off on you, and you know their hormones are changing, whatever it is they say. But trust me, if you started from when they were very little, I mean 3 years, 5 years, to start teaching them certain things, they wouldn't just boom off and go astray. And I promise you that even if they do, they would one day come back. They will not forget. And of course, you have to be praying for them, okay? Let me tell you, I work at a place where I'm privy to certain wonderful lessons, and it makes me so happy that I can sit and learn. And I promise you that so many family business are not doing well. So many family business have failed. Why? Because these children were not taught on time. They left them to maths, English, social studies. Do you know that at some point in London and in so many schools in the Western world, they were being taught the principles of Nwa boy, Iba boy? Do you know what that is? Go and research it. They were being taught the principles of this thing, because It is very, very crucial. That is what helped so many men in the eastern part of Nigeria to become who they are today. Although that culture has, receded or is no longer such a thing right now because of formal and Western education. But I promise you that you can do that for your children. You can. Why will you send your child to school and they would come back and then they'll just go and sleep, play game, do this, do that? Meanwhile, there's another boy in your house or girl that you're training. Once they come back from school, they will change and go straight to the shop or to the store to start selling, to start learning, to start interacting with customers, doing a lot of things. And the child that you want him or her to take over from you is not doing any of this. What they do is to go to school, come back, sleep, do assignments, repeat. That is why so many family businesses are failing. Now I'm going to give you another example. I watch Korean dramas a lot. When I mean a lot. And I learn a lot from their system. When a man gives birth, and this man, like, he's rich, he has a conglomerate, top 1%. In fact, it must not even be top 1% because I see it happening both to the very rich, the normal rich, the average, and even some of the people that consider themselves poor. Okay, I see it happening in these different levels. And when these children are growing up, all their internship would be in the company, all their learning in the company, right? They bring them for meetings, they take them for meetings, they teach them how to negotiate, they teach them how to run deals. They see these things happening. They don't push them far away, like send them to schools in US, and then when they come back, they know nothing about the family business. No, even if they go to schools in US, that is because they have a branch in US where these children will still go to learn during their holidays. All the holidays are important. Not one holiday is left out. And when they're finally done with school, guess what? They don't just drop them at the top. They start from below. They begin as an intern in the company. From working as an intern for 1 whole year. And this intern, you see them, they'll get coffee, they'll go on errands, they'll do photocopies, they'll make documents, all these other things. That is what most of the time they are doing and learning. After that 1 year, you'll now make them maybe something else. Then before you know it, they make them team lead, they make them managers, and that is how they keep growing. And most times, most people in the company do not know that this guy or lady is the son or daughter of the chairman of the company who will take over, right? They don't even know. They just keep them there. They don't need to give the other employees this information. Why? Because they want them to treat them like normal staffs so they can learn. So if you have a store, if you have something you're doing, you have to start now to start teaching your children these lessons, these things. They are very, very important. They are very crucial. So 1, we must start early. Starting early is key, and you must be deliberate. For example, you had a deal at work, or you signed a partnership with a friend, right? Maybe I'm doing hair. I own a hair extension brand, right, which is B-Touch, is what I'm carrying, my Italian calls. So right now that I own a hair extension, my friend is a makeup artist, we could come together to do a collabo. Sandra Brown x B-Touch would do a pop-up. People will come and buy, people will come and shop, get their makeups done, choose the best product, choose the best hair extension, the one that fits their hair shape, hair type. You do all these things, you had such a great day. You come back and your child that is up to 10-year-old would ask you, Mommy, Daddy, how was your day? And then you say, hey, it was fine, it was good, nothing much. What is nothing much? What is fine? What is good? See, I know it's stressful because I've stayed around kids and I'm like, oh my God. But the truth is that if you don't start early, they will miss their way. If your husband asks you how was your day, maybe you're going to tell him all the things that happened. You might as well just try to give your children a little bit of information. Oh, do you know Auntie Chamaka? Oh, do you know Auntie Sandra? We did something together. It was so beautiful. Even some of these events, it was happening in the week. Carry your child along with you. Let her help you sell if you're doing buying and selling. It's not every weekend that they will go to the park. It's not every weekend that they will lounge around. You will take them. You have to be very dogged when you're doing this, very deliberate. People who do these things, they trust me, their children turn out very wonderfully. And remember that we are studying the Jewish people and how they train their children. This is it. This is what they do. This is how they train their children for when they are very small. Most times our children never really know what we are doing until we are like what? Until they are like 20 years old. There's a girl, I asked her a question just 3 days ago. I was like, do you know your mom is doing? I don't even know where that question came out from. But I was saying something and it felt like she wasn't understanding me. So I now started to ask her, do you even know what your mom does? She didn't know. This young lady is doing youth service and she did not know her mother's role in her mother's company. That's so wrong. Absolutely wrong. They must know what you do and they must have an idea about how you carry out your role. Yes, they may not understand. They may ask a lot of silly questions, but those silly questions because they are trying to learn, they are trying to understand. And the more you indulge them, they will become better persons in the future. This is just a preamble of Jewish financial parenting. We're going to be going into more practical steps. Please check out the next video that will be coming out next week. Yes, in a couple of days from now, because we need to dive in deeper. If you learned something today, please drop a comment for me. Like this video. It is going to tell YouTube that this video needs to be seen by a lot of other people just like you have. Thank you. See you next week.